Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, X-Wing players, Star Wars Unlimited players, anyone who likes to play Star Wars games. Welcome to our channel. This is a channel that is dedicated to games in the Star Wars universe. My call sign is BatMando. If you are new to X-Wing, then this is the channel to watch. If you are getting back into 2.5, then this is the place to be. And if you are on the edge of your seat, waiting to see what will happen to X-Wing next, join us all because we're all trying to figure that out at this point in time. So I think the best question to put out there is where to? Where are we going? Where to now? There seems to be a lot of confusion and a huge lack of communication as to where are we going next. And of course, traveling through hyperspace ain't like dust and crops. And that seems to apply not only to the franchise, X-Wing and Armada games, and this channel, but there it is. So, in which case, I had some thoughts that I wanted to share in regards to plotting the course here at the channel. With Asmodee putting products out of stock on their website, some friends of the channel came together to discuss other ideas or series that we could venture into if the floor were to cave out. So one of those ideas was to give a review over the new series, The Acolyte, to which I thought about and then was reminded of a meme that you will see here on the screen, where fans of other franchises can normally sit down and have a calm discussion about their movie franchise. But as you see there at the bottom, I don't think I have ever been part of a calm discussion when it came to discussing any of the movies or series about Star Wars outside of the original trilogy. And that's fine because it makes for lively discussion, it makes for lively debates. But I mean, these are the things that we just need to acknowledge. And I know that there are lots of people that are bashing on the Acolytes after 2 episodes. So I'm going to give my 2 credits on the Acolytes very briefly here. So I was able to sit down and watch the first 2 episodes with both my son and my daughter and enjoy what we watched. My soon to be 10-year-old daughter has seen bits and pieces of the original trilogy. Judge me if you must, that I'm a terrible parent for not having her sit through the original trilogy yet, but I don't think she's ready yet. So she's also seen bits and parts of Clone Wars, Rebels, and other Star Wars projects, but it has never really held her interest while she was younger. She watched the first 2 episodes of The Acolyte and had a good time, which leads me to my next point. And this is just as a reminder that these new projects are geared towards younger audiences. Even Lucas has inferred that the series has never strictly been intended for adults. If you look at the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, it becomes very evident that this was sometimes a marketing tool. I mean, what does the pod race really have to do with the plot or the Skywalker saga of episode 1? It sold a lot of good video games and other products afterwards. However, as we get older, myself included, we can go back and see that the writing for these stories is definitely not award winning material. The stories are meant to be fun and entertaining, which they succeed at doing, obviously, because we're still watching them decades later. I found this series to be refreshing that it was not tied to the Skywalker saga. And this really helped my daughter to watch because she didn't need to have a history lesson in order to enjoy. Although, as she gets older, she's going to watch the original trilogy, the prequels, and other series. But I think this was a step to get a younger audience that perpetuates future Star Wars projects. I'm not in love with this series, but I think it's too early to judge based off of 2 episodes. And I don't think I wasted 2 hours of my life watching it like Batman and Robin, a movie that I saw in 1997 and I still want my time back for. But moving on to my next point, and that is X-Wing. X-Wing is in a very fragile state right now. I have seen it here in the Metroplex that player numbers have gone down, with some heading over to the Star Wars Unlimited game. I also have picked up the Star Wars Unlimited game, but I still have my X-Wing collection and I'm ready to play. The company responsible for X-Wing has been less than adequate in terms of communication. I am certain by now that you have seen the interview that was featured on Krabic, where the developer basically stated, when we have something to say, we will say it. And we all know that's basically corporate language for my hands are tied and I'm not allowed to say anything. However, the silence is not only frustrating, but it is deafening. It is clear that the company in charge has very little interest in communicating with the fans. When Asmodee cleared out their website stock, it generated some rumors and hope that maybe another company was going to take it over. I don't know how long I can continue to be optimistic about that possible future. I obviously will welcome it, but I am waiting for the other shoe to drop. That being said, it is up to our X-Wing community to determine how do we accept news if and when it comes. We know that we have future grand tournaments and a world's championship still in store. However, we know nothing more beyond that. I have seen here locally that some people are selling their collections. I have heard other players say that the game is in need of dire repair. But my thought is this: even if the company were to discontinue the product and support, does that keep us from still sitting down and playing a casual game? So, like the Acolyte, many of us are very critical of any of the permutations of Star Wars or of X-Wing, all the way back to 1.0. People complained that twin laser turrets were overpowered. So then people complained about 2.0, but some still played. People were up in arms about 2.5, to the point where some people refused to play it and they continued 2.0 Legacy X-Wing. So they're still playing their game. They're just not doing competitions for it. Okay, no problem. It doesn't interfere with 2.5 players still going to a store, playing a tournament, and there you have it. But we have complained so much about the game that even the newcomers may be turned off by said complaints and decide that this is not a community that they want to join. So, to which I say, you don't have to compete to play the game. You don't have to be part of a store championship in order to just enjoy the game. You just have to find a table space and a friend to play against. So it is up to your community or our community to remember that this is for entertainment. This is for a fun game. This is just for fun and entertainment, just like Star Wars films, series, and everything else. Maybe we need to remember that our new players are just looking for fun at first, and it will be up to them whether they wish to compete later. That's just my own 2 credits. I don't know what the future holds. I do know that our Starfighter Orientation series has received more views than most of our other series. Therefore, we are going to continue it even if the company does not. Curiosity is there. People are looking to improve their pilot skills that we have here as a resource. And I have read and heard the comments where some of our newer players wish that these resources were available years ago. So we will keep this series going for the channel until it runs out of steam. And then when the steam runs out, there are plenty of other Star Wars games to explore. And that is the plan if Steam does run out on X-Wing and the Starfighter Orientation series. We can explore other Star Wars games, whether they are retro games, future games. I have wanted to do a feature about Outer Rim and the Outer Rim expansion unfinished business. Just need to find some time to film it and get it into the posting schedule. I have wanted to also help some friends out and do a feature on Legion. I have other friends that think that we should maybe move on over to Shatterpoint and showing some of those videos. These things will be considered for future ventures for the channel. And you may see us do some unboxing videos for future Star Wars games if I can afford them. Because, this for me, I enjoy showing the passion that I have for X-Wing and the passion that I have for Star Wars games. I have a lot of fond memories of watching Star Wars younger. I took my son to go see all the sequel trilogies, and he enjoyed them because he was younger. Now, I'm certain that as he gets older, he may become more critical, like I have, about some of what we see in the films and different plot holes and everything else. But again, it's fun and it's entertaining. So, as I am able to, we will continue to do we will continue to do some more unboxing videos. We will continue to go ahead and show you different games that have caught our interest. I mean, as you can see there on the screen, we have Bounty Hunters, which by the looks of it, it reminds me a little bit of Outer Rim because its basic premise is, hey, you're a bounty hunter. You have to go collect bounties, and then you have to win by a certain amount of points and everything else. And hi, that basically is Outer Rim. So I also will tell you that I am looking forward to seeing what is going to come out of the Mandalorian Adventures because it's from a good developer. So I'm just like, okay, I'd like to see that. But, here's the thing. I'm a teacher who is trying to turn this into a side hustle. And that is where I would love for you, if you can, to help us out. And how can you help us out? By clicking like on the videos that you like so that we know what more videos to create more of. Also, click subscribe to our future transmissions so we know that we can eventually possibly monetize at some point in time. But again, ladies and gentlemen, really, in full transparency, I'm not really doing this for the money. I'm really doing it because I enjoy X-Wing. I enjoy Star Wars. I enjoy playing the games. So, and I know that there are other players out there that would like to have resources like the ones we're trying to provide to help you with getting better in playing the game. I am never going to claim to be the how shall I say, absolute best at this game. There are far more better players out there, and probably a couple more channels that are geared towards competition level, world's competition level playing. But everybody has to start walking before they can run. Everybody has to learn to fly before they become an ace pilot. So in which case, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to help everybody find their feet so that they can learn to walk and then eventually learn to fly. So that being said, thank you for watching. Feel free to follow us on Instagram, friend us on Facebook. I haven't said no to anybody yet. And if you have any questions or you want to further, how shall I say, talk about your opinion of the Acolyte or the channel or anything along those lines, drop us a comment below. Lively discussion is encouraged around here. So in which case, I'm not going to promise that I can get to every single comment, but I do try. And in which case, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue forward with X-Wing and Starfighter orientation. We're going to see if we're still doing the Friday night fights, but I'm going to tell you that this week there is not going to be a Friday night fight. There's not going to be a Sunday second, obviously. We do have a Friday night fight and Sunday second lined up for you next week. And yeah, this was just one of those things, spur of the moment, where I said, I need to go ahead and talk about, well, I enjoy this. I enjoy X-Wing. I enjoy Star Wars. The Acolyte may not be one of the best things, but I'm not going to simply judge it by its first 2 episodes. That might come back later to, bite me in the butt. But in which case, I'm also going to tell you, hey, some people are just watching it for the entertainment and for the fun. And it's geared to an audience that obviously I don't fit that demographic anymore. So that being said, just enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. Play the game of your choice. Come watch us to see how you can better improve how to play the game of your choice if we are featuring it. And that being said, as always, BatMando out.